It's the J Bass Today Show. Get ready for a good time, a good time. It's the J Bass Today Show. Get ready to ride.
Welcome to the J Bass Today Show. Thank you so much for riding with me, and I hope you enjoy the show. Season's greetings. God bless you to each of you. Welcome to this week's episode of the J Bass Today Show. I'm so grateful to be here, so grateful to have this opportunity to share with you. Just going to share a few things from my heart today, but I certainly want to start out with this, Our Daily Bread. I've only read just a little bit of it, and I'm already inspired to share based on what I have read. And so let's read. This is from July 1st, 2017, and it is entitled Cleaning House. Recently, I switched rooms in the home I rent. This took longer than expected because I didn't want to simply transfer my extensive mess to a new room. I wanted a completely fresh and uncluttered start. After hours and hours of cleaning and sorting, bags of stuff sat by my front door to be thrown away, donated, or recycled. But at the end of this exhausting process was a beautiful room I was excited to spend time in. My house cleaning project gave me a fresh perspective when reading 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1, as paraphrased in the Message, "So clean house. Make a clean sweep of malice and pretense, envy, and hurtful talk." Interestingly, it's after a joyful confession of their new life in Christ that Peter urges them to throw away destructive habits. When our walk with the Lord feels cluttered and our love for others feels strained, this shouldn't cause us to question our salvation. We don't change our lives to be saved, but because we are saved. As real as our new life in Christ is, bad habits learned do not disappear overnight. So, on a daily basis, we need to clean house, throwing away all that prevents us from fully loving others and growing. Then, in that new clean space, we can experience the wonder of being freshly built by Christ's power and life. 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 22 through chapter 2 and 5, but the key verse is verse 1, which says, "Rid yourselves of all malice and all deceit, hypocrisy, envy, and slander of every kind." Heavenly Father, thank you for the new life you are building in us through our Lord Jesus. Help us to daily turn to you for cleansing and renewal. Every day, we can reject destructive habits and experience new life in Jesus. Oh, y'all, I'm just so excited to have this moment with you. As you see, I'm wrapped. I'm home. It's cold in here, but I want to share. I thought, well, I can cut off the AC and go put on a suit or something to go live. But I was thinking, you know what? This is the real behind the scenes. Normally I'll sit, especially if it's cold and I hadn't turned off the air conditioner, because I do plan on going to lay back down. Then I will wrap up and just sit in my chair and do whatever I'm doing. But today I wanted to just keep it real because that's primarily the thought of today's topic. As I read this about cleaning house, I look throughout my home, or the place that I am currently dwelling and have dwelt for a few years now, and there's so much stuff. And in fact, it was my intention over the spring break holiday to be able to rearrange my home, clean it, go through things and really put things in order again. And I just did it. I did it. I was going through some things that week, not feeling well on top of it. And so things are as they have been. And it's just kind of interesting. I say kind of, but to me, it's very interesting to look at my life and my social media presence and the things that I have shared over the years. And it seems as if really what I wrote, uh, either people just don't believe in what it is that I'm saying or what they've seen of me on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all these places is just nothing special. I don't know. I don't know. But what I realize is this is who I am, and maybe I thought maybe that's what it is. Each person has their own thing going on, and so they may see you, and even those who come to me and say things like, "You don't know how you're inspiring us," and all of this, and I'm like, okay, uh, I could be so much more inspirational, and often the thought comes, if I had this certain amount of money and I could do this, I could do that. I wouldn't want to be one of those. The Powerball, I think it is. I don't play the lottery, but uh, they were saying that one of, I think it's the Powerball, is over $1 billion right now. And I thought about playing. I really did, because I know that if I play, I'm not just going to, or if I win, I'm not just going to give out money. I want to hire some people to come by and go through these things and look into it and pull up those dreams that have been asleep and packed down in my things for some of it years and even decades, because I was a dreamer in my teens and I would write things and plan things, and uh, some of that stuff I just know it still has relevance in this season. Uh, and one of the things I've kind of thinking about with my therapist is he feels like maybe I am entertaining things that are beyond my control. And the serenity prayer truly is a daily prayer. Now, there are several things that I pray on a daily basis, but the serenity prayer is one of those. And I sincerely seek God for the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. But it's those things, it's really this one, the courage to change the things I can, because even if no one else is here doing anything or helping or helping me go through these things, just what I have on external hard drives, all of the digital works that I have done over the years, creations, film, things that have just been done, could be used to do some amazing things. But, and it's no excuse. There is no excuse. And I realize there is no excuse, because that's my prayer. It's me, oh God. I know that you have given me something amazing. I probably could be out of here. But part of what I know is, it's when you have worked and you've shared things, and it seems as if it maybe comes across mediocre and nothing special about it, and that people seem not to be interested. That is hurtful. Even in this show, this is my 21st episode. And if you could see the views, but you know what? I saw last week there was a new guy, someone had inboxed me something of his, and I was trying to find out what they sent, why they sent it to me. But I realized God led me to go to this person's profile, because he'd been posting for years little skits and things, and some of the things I watched, I was tickled and just thinking they are crazy. But what I loved about it is he had others who were working with him to accomplish these skits. They would sit down and they would do it together, and just thinking, even in that, I've been praying for my tribe. I've reached out to friends and we discussed doing things like this, and nothing has really come of it. And so, that desire to be around other content creators who are really doing this, I've been looking forward to acting for so long. And again, in this situation, why am I not doing it on my own? I can come up with skits and do it on this Zoom or wherever and come up with some things to share to entertain God's people and beyond, because it's in me. But what is the problem? The discouragement of others in past seasons should not be hindering me now. So what's the issue? And part of the thought is, and I pray to be able to encourage you all as I share some of my thoughts, is that even though now I'm at this new season and there is so much more encouragement and desire to move forward with life, it still is a daily struggle to keep going at times. But I also do not want to get ahead of God, believing that somehow, some way, he's going to make a way for me. I know where I am is not where I will always be. Even just the thought of following my school path that has kind of been dreamed out and written out and put into a vision board, that school path alone is going to cause me to move around and to see different places and experience different things. And so, it's just being patient while here. And part of the hardest thing is to know some of the things that have been going on in my body. Just today, having to go to dialysis, just yesterday, missed dialysis because I had a procedure, which is causing me to have to take it easy walking and doing things because of that procedure. And I just honor God because I do have a mind to keep going. That in itself says a whole lot. It says a whole lot, because when you've been as low and through, that's what I was going to say before I fix my mouth, as low as I've been and through the things that I've been, to be in a season like this where you are hopeful and grateful and looking forward to greater things, it does kind of at times weigh me, because I know it's no ifs, ands, or but. First and foremost, just take it the thought of we've heard, or I've heard multiple people say in their encouragement sessions, if money was not an issue, if money was not a thing, what is it that you would do? I've also heard the thoughts that what we dream, if it's bigger and far beyond what we are able to do, it's a God's dream. It's God's dream. It's something that is in His hands. And so just the thought, I've seen people, if I won the $1 billion, what would you do with it? Baby, and I'm going to listen out what I'm doing, the thoughts that come to my mind. And most people have a couple of a sentence maybe or two, and I have a whole paragraph because I do have a plan, but it's okay, what are you doing currently that could even get you $1 billion? And I don't gamble, and so that's not the option. I mean, I guess I could start, but I don't like wasting money. I don't give them my money. And if I knew I was going to win, then I would do it. But, that is not how it works. So I'm not into that. But just knowing, that there is a plan, that this is what I would do if I had it, which would include being able to hire others and to be a blessing to them. Even family. I have so many people who are gifted and talented around me, and that has been one of the hardest things, is seeing the gifts and the talents around and feeling, because I'm the one seeing this and it's weighing on me that I'm responsible to do something. But then I look at my bank account and it says, you're not the one to do it. You're not the one to bring this to pass. And so then, of course, I go back to relying on God that some way, somehow, He's going to bring it to pass. And so the hard thing is, one of the scriptures that I've often thought of is hope deferred makes the heart sick. And I've been fighting against a sick heart. A sick heart, and it's sad. It's interesting. I'll say I won't say sad, but it's interesting that the procedure I had yesterday had to do with the heart and trying to see if the function has increased. And so to think of that okay, this is almost a literal thing, that your heart is waning from a desire for greater. Um, that's probably one of the things about this juncture and season of life is that we do see TV. We do see all of these different things. Of course, we don't know the behind the scenes that these actors, these athletes, and all these people who have achieved a modicum of fame or achievement, period, whether it's fame or not, that they've achieved some of their dreams and goals. We don't know what it took for them to get there, the things that they've had to endure. All we know is what we see. But it's one thing to or it's powerful, I'll say. It's powerful to be exposed to more. When you are exposed to more and you see that it's just the thought that it's possible, and especially you're a visionary, you're a dreamer. Golly, I say these things, but literally just tucked into books and written on papers, and I even have gotten a poster board and drew out a plan for if I had acres and acres of land, what I would do on that land, which still includes other people and being able to be a blessing to them. Just the thought of that, just the thought, and knowing that people would be blessed. And so, at times I do think, okay, well, maybe it is that God is getting me ready because there's still some things on the inside that need to be cleaned out. The house need to be cleaned, and He's cleaning. I feel different in so many ways. And I'm grateful. I am so grateful for that because it has been my prayer that He will complete the work that He has begun in me. No matter what I've had to go through, that I have not forfeited the promise that God has placed on my life, because He knew every mistake that I would make, every decision that I would make that was not like Him. And it is my wholehearted belief that every one of those was leading me to this specific place. So then now the question is, will you trust me now? And I'm here going live for the J Bass Today Show, or recording an episode of the J Bass Today Show, because I still believe that God can use me to do something great here in the earth, that He can use me to encourage someone else, especially as He encourages me. And so God bless you to each of you. I just wanted to come on today and just kind of share a few things from my heart, because I know, and maybe this is for dreamers, those of you who have goals and vision for your life, and maybe you felt like me. The premise of writing, they're just not that interested in me, is the thought of being a musician, singer, songwriter, actor, model. Come on now, all of this, all of that I can do, all of it, and yet seeming like the people I encounter here in the earth just are not that interested in what God has put in me. Even as I say that, I was thinking about it came to mind about a new challenge that I accepted with one of my classmates, and I've only posted 2 videos of it. But this brings me back to dude, I did not finish telling y'all. So y'all see how my mind moved. But anyway, this particular dude I was looking at on Facebook, and I get back to it. he'd been doing his skits and things on Facebook for years, and he had only a few views. It brings me back to this show. Only a few views on the episodes that I've released, and this is again episode 21. And you see just the lack of interest. And so then, as a content creator, as a musician, as a singer, all of this, it's kind of hard to keep going. It is challenging to keep pursuing the things that are on your heart and your mind when as an entertainer, as someone who wants to bless others with the music or with the talents and gifts, and it seems like they're not interested. Then what am I doing? If the people I'm endeavoring to help are not being helped, then what? And the crazy thing is learning and growing to understand that there are people who are being blessed, who are being encouraged by what you're doing, but they may never tell you. Or there are some who tell you, but they aren't really in a position to help you do anything. They just can tell you and give you some modicum of encouragement to keep going. And so that's all we can do is just keep going, keep going, keep going. Even thinking about my jingles and all of these things, it could be so amazing. It could be. And I often think maybe it's me who's holding myself back because of those past experiences. But when I do come forth and do things, I do want it to be on time and right. And when it comes forth, that people really are blessed and encouraged. And so, we go day by day and just continue on this forward trajectory, believing that some way, somehow, God's going to make a way. And as a result, many will be blessed because I lived. And that's not always an easy thought, especially having been through what I've been through. But there has to be a reason we're still alive. There has to be. After, I think we often make little of COVID, but the fact that we survived that, and especially if you had a low immune system and compromise and all these things that are going on, to be able to get through that and still be moving forward with dreams and goals. What an honor. And so I honor God. I give him praise. I thank him so much for this season. I just want to encourage whoever may see this. It appears that not many see these, but it is absolutely my prayer that those of you who see these will be blessed and encouraged to see that there is someone else who has dreams, who has goals, and is struggling to see those come to pass. I've never lived as anyone else. I don't know how it is to walk in someone else's shoes, but I do know the sympathy I have, the empathy I have. I can't remember the name of this particular movie, but I've seen it before. And it's about a basketball player who gets injured and things just go upside down in his life, and his trainer, who is Queen Latifah, helps him. Now y'all should know what movie it is. Anyway, helps him to recover. And just looking at that, and she took him to a park, and all the little kids rushed around him. I'm sitting over here crying. I'm telling you, tears crying, just because, he needed that. And so when I see things like this, even on TV, it's just sad. Sometimes I just feel so sad because it's sad. I don't feel sad. I feel, crazy maybe because I'm over here crying watching TV, But anyway, I just, that sympathy, that empathy, being able to witness people being blessed or being encouraged, it just does something for me. It really does, even if it's a fake movie or something, that encouragement still in the life of the person receiving it can do so much. And what's been interesting to me is this season of really having to hone in on how to encourage yourself. And so I just want to encourage you all. I feel like it is my responsibility as I am encouraged to encourage you. But I also want to encourage you to encourage yourself, because this may be one of the only videos you see of me and actually listen to. And most may not even get this far in the video. But for those of you who just might, I want to encourage you to learn how to encourage yourself, because there is a reason. We may not understand it. I still don't fully understand why I'm still alive, especially all the times I've wanted to die and be done. I don't understand it, but I am grateful to be here, because that means that since I'm here, there's still potential. There's still possibility to do some great things. And so for that, I give God the glory. I give God the honor, and I give him the praise. And so God bless you to each of you. I pray that what has been shared here has blessed you, that you are encouraged. There are some great things that God has put in us to accomplish. Great dreams, great vision, great goals. And we can do it. We can do it. I don't know, sometimes, especially when you're kind of like an introvert or not the one to just be all up at people's face, especially based on what you've been through, how that works and how you can come into contact with those who can help you take the dream to the next level. I was thinking even posting a photo with Bishop Jakes, Mama Oprah, and Tyler Perry. I put a 4-person picture up with just the 4 of us, and I'm thinking people are probably looking at this and saying, "Now who is he?" But that, their example to me and seeing what they have been to accomplish speaks volumes. To seeing them working with their teams and having read and seen a lot of their journey, what an honor. What an honor. And when my brother Tyler opened up Tyler Perry Studios there in Atlanta, that was clear indication that it can be done. When I saw him purchase this huge property, build all these homes and studios on it, it brought me back to the dream and the vision that I'd written down and drawn out years ago. I won't even say it's been over a decade now. I don't even know. I don't have any clue where that poster board is now, but I drew it out. I drew it out. I could still see it in my mind. And I'm sure by now, things would change if I really was able to invest in it and do it. But seeing him make that accomplishment let me know that what God put on my heart and mind to accomplish is possible. And just because it's possible is enough to keep going. Because we don't know. We know where we've been. We know where we are, but we have no clue. We have no clue where we're going. We have no clue what God has in store for us. And I just believe, because of the desire to be a blessing to people, that God's going to do something amazing. I really believe that, and maybe being able to share that on this broadcast would be a thing that I can point back to when God does do what I've been believing him for. Because I believe he's going to exceed my expectation. And so it doesn't look like it now, looking at where I've been and how things are going. But again, just the school path alone in my life lets me know that I have to move, I have to meet new people and do different things. And so he prepared me in my young age to be able to handle moves and shifts. And I pray for stability. He's answered that prayer. And I've been stable where I am for quite some time, for years now. And that is an answered prayer. But I still know that there's more. There are people, there's a tribe where once we connect, I won't have to beg and plead. We will do amazing things. I wholeheartedly believe that. And so I just want to encourage you all to keep hope alive. Keep it alive. Don't give in. I know I can write another book if that would help to encourage you, that I do know and understand how it feels to be disappointed continually, discouragement continually, and thus find yourself depressed, because it is hard sometimes to keep going and keeping that hope alive, especially when it seems like it continues to be deferred and that those you're around don't really care. It's kind of a challenge. But sometimes these things are building our story. It's building us. It's building our story. It's building us so that once we get through this, where it is that God is taking us, we are planted, we are firm, we're stable, and able to handle the things that come on the next levels and the next dimensions that we've been asking for. Because just, I'll say this and I'm done. Just the thought of, I'll use Bishop Jakes, him in West Virginia at a church, a small church, and he's having to do all of these things. It's totally different where he is now, the level that he's on now, the things that he has to confront, the things that he has to challenge versus when he was an obscure person in those mountains of West Virginia. And so you have to grow, you have to be matured to be ready for those. And I know, especially with some of the things I've just been through in these obscure places, that I was not ready and probably still am not ready, but I'm praying and believing that God is making me ready. And part of that in this season is just being faithful to the things that he has allowed me to have the opportunity to do, especially some things after 20 plus years, to have this opportunity now, even though it seems challenging at times. We want to walk away and want to give up and just be done with things. No, there is greater. And so the mindset to keep going in spite of, sometimes it's challenging, but I thank God that it is present and that it's happening. It's still happening. It's still moving forward in spite of how I felt and the things that have happened, still moving forward. So for that, I give God all the glory. I give him all the praise. I pray that you have been blessed and that you have been encouraged by today's episode of the J Bass Today Show. God bless you.
It's the J Bass Today Show. Now I'm telling you that it's your attitude. I have an attitude of gratitude. Lord, you've been good to me.